What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Stuck in My Thoughts podcast. I'm your host and All-American high jumper, Justin Stuckey. First, we want to give a special shout out to the sponsor of today's episode, WA Asset Management, one of the best RIAs in the Southeast, offering top-tier financial planning and wealth services. With offices located in Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, they provide everything you need to have your money squared away, and we thank them for their support. So our guest for today, he runs a 9.98 in the 100-meter, 19.92 in the 200-meter, 45.87 in the 400-meter. He long jumps 27 feet. He's a NCAA national champ and a 13-time All-American. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Matthew Boling.
Hello.
Matt, appreciate you being on the show today, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
All those stats I just read off, which one sticks out the most?
I think my favorite probably was the 200, mainly because I've been wanting to run under 20 for the longest time, and that's the first time I've done it, wind legal or wind aided. So, and I remember 2 days before I actually called it. I was like, I'm gonna run 19 this weekend.
Yeah.
And I did it. So seeing that result on the board and kind of manifesting that definitely meant the most to me.
That's what's up right there. So you got all these stats, man. You know, you coming from Texas, high school phenom. Everybody knows your name. You're doing all these big things. I would just assume like track isn't just a hobby for you. What's your main goal in this sport?
Yeah, my main goal, I want to be a professional. I want to run on the world team, Olympic team, and eventually after college, I want to be able to, just make those teams and make a name for myself with the pro circuit.
That's what's up right there. So you're from Texas, like we just said. You choose to go to Georgia. Just a big shift, 2 different states, things like that. You get to Georgia, you're still putting on, you're not just a high school fluke,
Yeah.
You're coming to college, you're still doing your thing. 2021 indoors, you win the NCAA championship in the 2. You were doing that while you were also doing a bunch of other things for your team, a bunch of other events, a lot of the wear and tear in your body. It's the end of the season. How you operate at a high level weekly through all that wear and tear?
I mean, I take really good care of my body. If you ask the trainers, I'm in the training room the most, I'd say, out of anyone on the team. I eat right, I hydrate, I get my sleep. So I just try to do everything in my control to take care of myself and get ready.
Yeah, that makes sense, though. A lot of athletes kind of wonder, like, okay, I may not be blessed with that crazy speed, just God-given speed, but what things can I do to get an advantage? And those are the big things we talk about as an athlete. We hear all the time, like, get your sleep. You got to eat right. You got to prepare yourself. You can't just go out there and do it. And hearing from somebody who's, at the top, especially at the sprinting circuit, doing these small things is a big thing for these, young people listening out there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been like that my whole life, too. I remember my first year track in the 6th grade. I ran the 100 and 200. Actually, I don't even think I made the 200 for AAU Junior Olympics, like that whole summer stuff. I got, I think, like 3rd to last in the 100 my first year. And I was like, dang, that was tough.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I came back the next year and I really didn't do that much better. But I kept working at it, and by high school, I got better.
That was up.
Yeah.
So at UGA, you started out, you're getting coached by Petros and AT. And then you have the coaching change. Coach Carroll comes in, whole new staff. She comes from USC. Despite the coaching change, you're still having crazy success. But, it's an uncertain time. You had other teammates. You had Anna, you had Jasmine transfer out. What made you stay at UGA in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, I know Coach Carroll's track record, so I know who she's coached. So immediately I trusted her to come in and coach me. I talked to her like the first, maybe second day she got in the office. And kind of just went over a lot of her training plans and philosophies. And so I trust her off the bat, and I also just love the school. Like, I can't imagine myself just leaving the school, you know what I'm saying? Like, it means more to me than just running and just putting a random logo on my chest. I've been here for what, 3.5 years now. So it's home to me.
Hey, that's dope right there. You already just took my next question away, bro. I was gonna say, what does UGA mean to you? If you got anything else to offer on that one, that was kind of straight.
Yeah, I mean, it's home. I said I'm going into my senior year academically. My third year, I guess junior year, then athletically. So, I mean, I've been here, made a lot of friends, made a lot of connections, and this is just it literally just feels like home. I've been here all summer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't go anywhere else for the summer. And I've been happy and I've been comfortable where I'm at in my apartment. So it feels right.
Yeah, that's what's up right there, man. Athens, y'all better feel special. That boy Matt loves y'all. Okay, so everybody knows what you're doing on the track, dude. Like, you're a dominant force. If you say Matthew Boling's name, people know who you are. Like, just given. You've earned that. You've done that thing. But what I want to talk about on this show is the Matthew Boling off the track. Mm-hmm. The side of, you that people don't really get to see. You only show them a snippet on social media and stuff. We talked about this last night. It's really based off track. But we want to give people an insight of you off the track. So one thing I figured out, and I didn't know this, we got a lot of similarities. Like, we're both business majors and both marketing majors, which I did not know. So that's also pretty cool. Talk about, being at Terry College here at Georgia and kind of, what that means to you, how the business school has helped you, model yourself as a student athlete and as a person. We know academics goes a long way, and, the professors in the business school here.
Yeah. Well, marketing is interesting to me because a lot of like my on track stuff, it is like, and like social media stuff, it is marketing based, and I'm really interested in like how my agent kind of markets me and talks to different companies about me, and then I feel like I've already made a lot of connections with a lot of these companies who I've partnered with, and kind of like say I won an award for a certain company, like I feel like I've made a lot of connections with them too. So kind of learning about that and getting more knowledge on that so I can get my degree, and hopefully when I'm done with track and all that, being able to work with them and continue to like kind of keep going with my legacy just in a different way.
Yeah, that's real right there. Because I don't think people understand, like, at some point, my coach in high school always used to say, just referring to basketball, like, the ball is going to stop bouncing someday, With me, like, I'm going to stop jumping someday, you're going to stop sprinting someday. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we want to be longer, but, like, things like that. So preparing ourselves is important, as athletes to understand, get your stuff right off the track. So that way, when your time comes, you got everything squared away, you're ready to go do your thing. So I just want to talk about, really on the academic side, you were the SEC Scholar Athlete of the Year. That's big.
Yeah.
Just talk about the importance of getting those grades, and, it's not just about coming to perform on the track, but also off the track in the classroom.
Yeah, I remember the first time I won it last year.
Two-time.
Two-time.
Okay,
yeah,
two-time SEC Scholar Athlete of the Year, Matt Boling.
Yeah, so the first time I won it last year, I was about to get on a plane on the way to SEC's indoors, and someone brought it up right before the flight, and I was like, oh, really? And then I get off the flight, and my parents texted me, and then one of my mentors, Wallace Spearman, texted me, and he's like we talk a lot after I run fast times, and he's like, that's the most proud I've been of you, man. Like, because he told me, he's like, track is important, and he's an Olympian, like medalist, world champ, one of the GOATs for Team USA in the 200, and he's telling me, stay in school, focus on your grades. You better keep them grades up, like checking up on me, making sure I'm not slacking. So he's like, that's the most proud I've been of you, despite all the times. And so that was cool, seeing someone who's had so much success on the track kind of tell me that how important that off the track is, and kind of give me props to award I got for the off the track stuff. So whenever I win that award or am in consideration for an academic award, it means a lot to me.
Dude, that's what's up, man. All y'all listening, man, get the grades. Yeah. Simple as that. Get the grades. Get the grades. Okay, another thing. You have a twin brother. There's another Matt Boling out there.
Michael Boling.
Michael Boling, shout out to him. So, are y'all identical? Y'all
Fraternal
twins?
Yeah, we really don't look that much alike. I mean, similar. People always like, y'all brothers, and then sometimes people will guess we're twins, but no one's ever like thought we're identical.
Yeah, that's what's up. Where does he go to school?
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. How does two Texas boys go to Georgia that end up going to the rival schools?
Yeah. So you see, my brother is the nerd of the family. So he, in high school, valedictorian of our school. He was always like, I mean, I'm smart too. I was always up late doing my homework, but he was like me on the track. Like how locked in I get is how he gets with school.
Okay.
So he'd be up till 2 a.m. just doing homework, like pulling at his hair. Like one time my parents were like, you gotta stop pulling at your hair, man. You're gonna be bald. So he was interested in engineering, and Georgia Tech has a very elite program there. So when I committed to Georgia, Georgia Tech was in one of his top 3 schools. So I think it made sense for him. He didn't necessarily, I don't think my decision swayed him too much because Georgia Tech was the best decision for him as well at the time. But it kind of just happened to all work out together. And then my parents actually ended up buying a townhouse in Sandy Springs, Georgia. So now it's like the family kind of moved to Georgia from Texas.
I got you. That's what's up, man. Shout out, Michael. If you're watching this, shout out to you, bro. So one thing I think everybody needs to know, one of the things everybody needs to know in this show is Matthew Boling has a slight addiction to a certain video game.
Oh, man.
Go ahead. Tell him the game that you're just like, you stay up all night playing.
I play too much MLB The Show.
Why is that the game? You know, you hear people, you know, they love Madden. They definitely love 2K. Yeah. What's MLB do for you?
So what I think it is, to be honest, I have an addiction to competitiveness. And this MLB game, it keeps all your stats. So it keeps your wins, your losses. For every player you play with, it keeps their batting average, how many home runs they hit, all that. So I'm almost like, if my friends are playing the game too, I'm trying to see how many more home runs I can get than my friends. And I've got to have the best team. I got to have the best stats. So when I'm not competing, which like right now I'm on break from competing, I got to have something competitive to do. And like last year in December, my friend beat me in a game. And the first game I played a friend, and I was on the game for like 4 hours a day for like 2 weeks. He comes back from Christmas break. Like, how did you literally have the best team in the game now? Like, my skill still wasn't the best, but my team was really good. And like, all my friends make fun of me for how competitive I am. But like, I mean, it's just part of my nature.
Hey, you want that competitiveness at all areas of life. Success at all areas, man. The track, the classroom, and on MLB The Show.
It's the same with the classroom. Like my counselor was making fun of me the other day because she got a new job and she's writing notes for our new counselor, and she said if Matt does bad on a first test or quiz, he's gonna freak out and be like he's gonna fail, but he never does, because if I do bad on my first test, I end up studying for that class way too much until I get my grade back up. Because I can't, like, I hate seeing bad stuff on my, like, if it's in writing and it's like final, like a stat, it's gotta be good. Yeah. Or I'm like upset.
Hey, that's what's up, bro. Okay, man. I am glad we were able to share this because I think it's a big thing, especially on my show. What I like to highlight with athletes, you know, athletes in their faith. You know, me and Matt got a good chance to talk yesterday about a lot of different things. And one of the biggest things that stuck out to me was when you were sharing to me about your baptism. You know, you got baptized earlier this year, January, I believe.
In January, yeah.
You know, that's like I told you yesterday, like out of all the things we talked about, that was the biggest thing that stuck out to me. And one of the things I was like, in a way, most proud of, like, you know, that's real right there. So talk a little bit about, you know, number one, why you decided to take that step in your faith and like what it means to you.
Yeah. So I've gone to Christian schools my whole life, in middle school, and my high school was a Catholic school, it's an all boys Catholic school. So I've always like been religious. I've always believed in God, and then in college, like it's not as much like high school where you have dedicated days where you like go to mass or something for an hour. So I came into college and got into like an athlete's devotional group.
Okay.
And that met once a week. So I kept hanging out with them, kept learning more about my faith. And then I felt like it was an important thing for me because at this point I'm in college and I'm like going to these like devotional groups myself. Like it's not something like at school where you gotta go to it. It's like I enjoy going to it, and I'm doing this on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
So I felt like to me it was an important way to kind of like outwardly express my faith. So I talked to the D group leader, his name's Irby, and decided to get baptized in January, and that was just a really cool experience for me, and kind of like just show me how important it was to me. And it was like that waking up that day was very like surreal, just emotional.
Shoot, that's what's up, man. On the podcast, man, I love to talk about, athletes and their faith. That's a big thing I want to, shine a light on. And, out of all the statistics and out of all the, achievements you'll have and the decisions you'll make, that's one of the biggest ones. No, that is the biggest one. So proud of you for that.
Thanks.
We're going to encourage all the athletes or the listeners out there, take that next step in your faith, find groups, find accountability partners and things like that. And, we just challenge you to, continue to express your faith and, seek out the Lord each and every day. So let's move on from the bowling outside the track. Let's get back to the track. Track and field is at a state right now where there's like a lot of opportunity, I would say. We want to talk about the track and field growth. So we already know you're one of the faces of track. A lot of people value your opinion. They want to hear your opinion. What do you think track needs to be, recognized as the great sport that it is? Like, what does track need to kind of like take that next step to be on the same plane as NFL, NBA?
Yeah. In my opinion, I think not media coverage, but TV coverage needs to be better scheduled, better planned out or something. Because I have so many friends that aren't like never ran track in their life. They're just like my friends, so they follow it a little bit. But if a track meet is on TV or they're seeing a race on YouTube, they'll text me about it and be like, "Oh, that was cool to watch. Was this good? Was that good?" Or like they'll watch it on the TV and be engaged. But sometimes I think just like with scheduling conflicts or whatnot, like if a meet lasts 6 hours, it's really hard to put it on a TV. So I don't know how they can fix that. Like that wouldn't necessarily be my job to figure out. But somehow, if it can get better coverage on the television, I think people would love it. Because like what we saw at trials, in Worlds going on right now, it's very entertaining. Like watching the best 200-meter runners, that's my favorite event to watch, clash up against each other. And right now I feel like more than ever, we're starting to see more personalities come out in the sport. Like you see Lyles, he's very, I feel like, outgoing with the media and with
Euro stepping.
Yeah, Euro stepped after the 200. Like a lot of people might be like, "Oh, like what's that about?" But it's fun. Like watch football. Like what do you think? As many people watch football or basketball? Like if there's no dunks in basketball, like that would be boring. If there's no 3-pointers, that would be boring.
Yeah.
If you're not celebrating after a touchdown, like it's not as fun. So seeing those personalities come out, I feel like will have people be more invested in the sport and in certain athletes. Because if I know the whole field of athletes, or at least like 6 out of the 8 of the field, if I know them and I'm invested in their story, I'm gonna want to watch the race and I'm gonna be rooting for that person and be very like attentive to the TV. So I feel like better just TV coverage and kind of telling each other's story will make that better.
Yeah, we see a lot more like celebrities in a way coming out. We had RG3 commentating NCAAs. I feel like that's what track needs. Like you need those bigger names shining a light on it. Yeah, Travis Scott at Worlds, like that's gonna like just boost up credibility of anything.
Yeah, for real. And a lot of people like I feel like say like, oh, if you want to like show more personality, then show more personality. But it's not always on like completely the athlete. Because if you look at these football players and basketball players, and you look at their Instagram, like they're not going out of their way to go on Instagram or TikTok to show their personality. The TV is showing their personality. Like the media coverage is showing their personality. Like you could go to, I don't know, like Russell Wilson, someone's IG right now or TikTok, and they're not posting every day about themselves and like what's going on. I feel like you more like see it in these games where like you're getting close-up shots and then post-game interviews and all that. So I feel like it's kind of a mix of social media posting. Like you don't want to be completely like not posting at all, but I feel like it's a mix of both to combine to kind of make it better.
That actually just takes me to the next point. And you and I talked about this. Track, in a way, is held to a way different standard as those other sports. You talk about like how track, you kind of have to show your personality through social media, posting very often, and in a way, like it's a strenuous job.
Yeah.
And that's like off the track. So like talk more about how you feel track is held to a different standard, especially like with the NFL, NBA, things like that.
Yeah. So for like the comparison I was telling you last night, so if you're an All-American in NCAA football, or if you're in the NCAA final for track, you're in the top 8. Say you get second or third, like you get a podium finish, but you don't get first. People like hold the standard to you get first or last. But imagine you're the second or third best quarterback in the country for football. You're getting drafted in the first round, $1 million signing bonus.
Get the bag.
But for track, it's not that way. And in my opinion, I feel like that's a reflection of like the coverage of the sport and how it's not as big as other sports. I think that if people knew more track runners, then it would be like, oh, this guy who I'm a fan of got a podium finish. That's awesome. Instead of who won the race. I don't care about anything else. Like I'm gonna look at who won the race and then follow them on social media and remember their name. But if you kind of get to know more people before the race, I feel like it'll make it that much sweeter to watch their podium finish.
Yeah, that different standard is definitely something crazy to think about. And then you mentioned like if you're the number 5 quarterback in the country in NCAA, you're gonna get drafted, you're gonna get a bag. If you're the number 5, I'll just say high jumper in NCAA, bro, it's gonna be a struggle. Maybe a struggle when you go pro.
You get a little trophy.
Yeah, you get a little trophy, nice NCAA trophy. Appreciate y'all giving us that. But like, you know, we need that money too. And as you see with like Puma and things like that, Puma's really changing the game. I'll talk about that now. Like you got Abby Steiner, just signed Champion Allison. Elaine Thompson-Herah, I think, just signed with Puma too. Like Puma's really changing the game. Gabrielle Leon from Louisville, the pole vaulter, they're like, you know, sending those bags out there. You need more of that with track. I feel like more coverage equals more money, equals more sponsorship, and everybody benefits. You know, athletes and companies and viewers. So I think all in all, like that's gonna be the ticket for, you know, track in order for it to grow. And you know, you see those guys like, you know, Magic Johnson's tweeting about it now. Shannon Sharp's tweeting about it. RG3 is always tweeting about it. Even Ocho Cinco is tweeting about it. But I don't think it can only be just when the World Championship's happening.
Yeah.
Like, and it has to be year-round. Track is really all year round. You think about it, you go for about 6 months, 6-7 months, depending on what athlete you are.
Yeah, I went from January to late June, 6
months. So, like, that's half the year. That's so much opportunity. Like I said, track has a lot of opportunity. You see a lot more, you know, media outlets starting to coverage it. You got the Citius Mag. You got Real Talk. I like Real Talk. Yeah. She's really doing her thing on there. You got Track World News. Shout out Track World News. Things like that. Just really hyping up the sport. And like you said, showing those personalities. Like you got Noah Lyles doing this thing. And some people may look at it as like, oh, like why you acting like that? Kind of like, is he cocky? But no, like that's that competitive nature. He's having fun in the sport again. And, you know, it's a lot of people appreciating it at Worlds. And we need more people appreciate it at World Championships, indoor championships, a regular meet, outdoor, things like that. So more and more, you know, youth and kids want to just come up in the sport.
Yeah.
You know, we want that to be, you know, more kids' dreams. You know, they can have NFL dreams, NBA dreams, but like, why can't we have track dreams?
Yeah,
you know?
for real.
You know, things like that. So, did you play no sports?
Middle school, I played football, and I watched Rudy, and then wanted to go to Notre Dame and play running back.
Okay.
But, you know, that didn't work out.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that. Shout out Rudy.
Yeah.
Rudy?
Shout out Rudy.
Shout out Rudy. Is Rudy still alive?
Not sure.
Okay.
I just like the movie.
It's a good movie, man. Shout out Rudy if you're still out there. Okay, Matt, we're gonna wrap it up in the show today with the DropBox questions. These come from fans, people that want to get to know you a bit better, or they just have, you know, those spicy questions out there. So, number one question: who is your favorite competitor right now?
I enjoy watching Fred Curley. He's a really electric athlete in the 1, 2, and 4, and you don't see many people go all 3. So, I mean, and that's kind of like what I like to do. I like running those 3 events. So,
Dude's a beast.
Him.
Dude's a beast. Hey, Fred, if you see this, keep doing your thing, bro. You're putting it on. You talked about how he does all 3. Is that kind of your kind of motivation? You know, like you want to be dominant in both of those?
That's what I want to do, yeah. I'm going to try to I do the 4x4 right now, but I want to try to do a little bit more open for get that time down. I ran indoor. I actually ran 45.5 2 years ago.
Sorry, 45.5. I had the stat wrong earlier.
That was indoor though, so you got the outdoor stat. But I think I could see my time drop there. I've only ran the open twice in the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm. So do you really care, or you just want to be like what event you do? You just want to be dominant in one, all across the board. You just kind of like want to find where you fit in, and do your thing.
Probably like I want to find where I fit in and do my thing. Right now, I enjoy the 200 the most. So I feel like that's where I fit in the best.
Okay, that's what's up. Okay, next question. And you had me and Matt talked a lot yesterday, so y'all getting kind of like the back burner of it. But you talked about, you know, athletes especially, like we face a lot of negativity, things like that. What keeps you going despite the doubters? You know, you hear people, especially like the ones that don't play sports, they be like, okay, you know, does he have a senior team? Oh, he didn't make an Olympic team, things like that, world teams. What keeps you going despite all the negativity or the doubt?
Yeah, I mean, I think what keeps me going is kind of my circle. Like, I really only pay attention to what people I care about say. Also, the fact that I'm young, like, I got a lot of time. Like, I'm still in college. I still eat dining hall food. So it's like, okay, like, you know how much time I got?
Yeah.
I barely know how to cook and pay my own bills right now.
Yeah.
But I think that helps. And two, just like kind of like experiencing it and being it. I think like the negativity at first bothered me more than it does now, just because you kind of see how it works. Like, so I came into college and my first race in college wasn't the best. I did not win my first race in college. So off the bat, after like coming from high school where like I'm winning every race because it's high school, I'm competing against people who a lot of the times just doing the sport because it's in getting them shape for football.
Yeah.
Now I'm in college running against people who are probably going to go pro in the next 1 to 2 years. So of course my first race, I'm not used to that. It's not my best. I get, I don't know, second or third. And then you see a bunch of negativity and it's like, dang, like I'm not used to this. It kind of sucks. And then a couple races later, I PR and win. And then you don't see any negativity.
Everybody
and you
back
see positive
on your jock. Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, you have another bad race and it goes back down. So when you see that up and down so much, it kind of almost turns into a joke.
Yeah.
Like it's like, okay, bro. Like,
yeah, it's funny at that
like
point.
what's happening here?
Yeah.
So it almost just like you get desensitized to it. I think like one message I would say to any athlete who is young and might experience that is just let your feet do the talking and let them do fast talking. Like don't get
or your throws. We got some throwers
or
out there.
Throws, yeah. I'm just a sprinter, but don't let that stuff bother you. Like just go out and do your thing.
Yeah, that's good right there, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody wants to know this because I had this question myself. Tyreek Hill, Usain Bolt, 60 meter. Who's winning?
Usain Bolt.
Confidence.
A lot of confidence.
Why Bolt?
GOAT.
Simple enough. Simple enough. Tyreek Hill, Matthew Boling, 60 meters. Who's winning?
Matthew Boling.
Confidence.
Always.
What about 40? 40-yard dash.
On a football field or a track?
Let's just say both.
On a track, me, because I refuse to say I won't win on a track. A football field, I'll give it to him because he's a football player. So I'm not gonna go into his domain and say I'll beat him.
Yeah.
But if anyone tries to come onto a track and beat me, I'm gonna say myself 100% of the time.
Hey, you gotta have that confidence out there. Tyreek Hill, you hear this? If you see this episode, come let your feet do the talking. Come see it. Matthew said he got you, so we're trying to see it. Okay. You kind of just said this, but this is very mixed reviews. Who is your GOAT in track and field?
The GOAT, in my opinion, is Usain Bolt.
What about Allison Felix?
I mean, also a GOAT, but if I'd pick one for myself, I say Bolt, just because GOAT.
Yeah.
100, 200 world record, and those times are insane. Like, if you look at it, like, how many people, like, have even run 9.6, and he ran 9.5. Like, that is insane.
Yeah.
Like, if you see a 9.6 now, like, I can't remember the last time I seen a 9.6. I think Tyson Gay ran 9.6 a while ago, but I mean, I might be wrong, but I've seen 9.7 this year and last year, and 9.7 is an insane time.
Yeah.
So 9.5 is crazy. And then 19 and the 200.
Hey, bro, you telling me, bro? I ain't even no sprinter. I know that's insane. That's different right there.
Like, anything, like, if you see the Olympics last year, 19.61, and then the world leading time this year is 19.49.
Ariane?
Yeah. So
if you think he's gonna beat the record?
He's I don't know.
Dude, 1914, what, he 18?
Yeah, like, I definitely, like, I wouldn't be surprised at all, but I wouldn't want to, like, put that kind of pressure on him because he's trying to do his own thing, you know? I doubt he's, like, worried about that too much. Like, if he's beating the U20 records, he's dropped that down, like, 0.3 or 0.4, so I'm sure at this point,
he just
like, to get to that point, I feel like you can't be so focused on someone else's record. I feel like he got to that point being focused on himself. That's a good word of advice right there. I think he's definitely on track to just do some big things. I'll say that. Don't know what lies there, but something's good gonna lie there. Okay, bro. Last question, and we're gonna wrap it up for today's episode. What's one thing you want people to know about Matthew Boling? It could be anything. I mean, I want to say I'm good at Xbox, but I can't really claim that. I mean, I'm mid, but I guess I just like hanging out with my friends. Like, I don't show it much on social media because it's so serious. Like, you see a lot of track stuff, but I feel like a lot of people don't know I'm just like this goofy kid. Like, I'm just hanging out.
Goofy, bro.
I'm just hanging around with my friends, making jokes half the time, like being normal. So it's like, I don't know, a lot of people will meet me and be like, dang, you're way different than I thought just because I seen your social media. But it's like, man, I'm just trying to live my life and have fun.
Yeah.
Like track is fun. It's serious, but I have fun running it. So, I mean, I'm just trying to live a good life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Have fun doing what you do and just live a good life. Matt, we thank you for being on the show. Everybody, you can catch this episode on all platforms. The visuals on YouTube, so please subscribe to the channel. And then the audio will be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You guys have a great day and stay tuned for the next episode on the Stuck in My Thoughts podcast. We out.